guys, what do you think about stuffed peppers tonight? Well, of course, I think it's a great idea. So how about we make us stuffed peppers with shrimp, lobster tail, spinach, Asiago cheese, and a few other cheeses, and some jasmine rice on the side. What do you guys think about that? Let's do it, and let's do it our way. So you ready? Because I am. So let's go. Okay, we're going to start with 1.5 cups of jasmine rice, and we're going to rinse the rice to get all of the starch off. So just rinse it with warm water, just to get all that starch off, to make it not so sticky when you're boiling your jasmine rice. So I rinsed that off and pour the excess starchy water off, and then rinse it again just a second time to make sure you get the starch off. So once you've done that, then you can put some fresh clean water in there and start to get ready to boil your jasmine rice. So now we're going to go ahead and rinse it this last time, and now we're ready to boil. We're going to get ready to bring this to a boil. So fill your pot up with a little bit of water, and I would say this is probably about 2.5 cups of water, and we're going to go ahead and take this and boil this, and we're going to set the stove to medium heat. And you set it on medium heat, and you're going to boil your rice for about 10 minutes, and don't forget to stir in between to make sure your rice is not sticking. So make sure you stir the rice really good to avoid sticking, and once it's ready, you're going to take it and rinse it one additional time. And I rinse this with cold water because it helps the rice, now that it's done, to not stick. So rinse the rice with cold water, and once you rinse it and kind of get all that starch off, you'll see the little additional starch from it cooking. Then you're going to go ahead and take this rice, and you're going to strain it so you can have all the excess starch and water off. So rinse in cold water probably about 2 times, and then pour the additional starchy water off, and you have some nice firm jasmine rice. A lot of people have a hard time with rice, and 10 minutes of boiling on medium, your rice is ready. You rinse it in cold, and it's not going to stick together. A lot of people struggle with rice, which I noticed, so hopefully this video will help you with the rice. But I love jasmine rice. You can choose the white rice of your choice. Okay, now, as I said, we're going to strain the rice, and you're going to get all that excess starch and the water off. And then I strain it and just put it in a bowl and get it ready for the peppers that we're going to stuff. So rinse it once you get it in the strainer, and now you're sure that all your starch is off of your rice. And now put it in a bowl to the side. Okay, I have a bag of baby spinach next, and we're going to just put this in a bowl, and we're going to rinse it just to make sure we get all the dirty things that could be from the garden off of our spinach. So just rinse your baby spinach pretty thoroughly, and then once you rinse it, just strain the extra water off. You don't want excess water because spinach makes so much of its own water. So next, I'm just going to coat the bottom of the pan. I have just a frying pan, and I'm going to coat it with olive oil, and I'm going to go ahead and turn this to medium to low heat. And we're now going to add us a little bit of minced garlic to this once we get the pan heated up, and we're going to add some minced garlic and seasonings to our spinach. So okay, next we have our peppers. I have our peppers ready, and I'm going to use this pepper as the additional filling pepper. So I'm going to cut this into small strips and then to little pieces. We do have our peppers we're going to stuff, so we want them about this size because we're going to stuff these inside of the pepper. So you have 1 additional pepper. So we're ready to add a 1/4 cup of minced garlic to our olive oil, and let that simmer and saute a little bit and stir it up. And we're going to get ready to add our spinach and seasoning to this. So get that garlicky flavor flowing and smelling throughout your house so you can add your spinach to this next. So we're going to go ahead and pull this on to keep, like I said, on medium heat, and we're going to add that spinach to it. So add your spinach and saute it around really good once you get it in there, so you can get the garlic all over the spinach, and just some of the olive oil to make sure it's not sticking. So mix that up pretty well, and then you're going to start to add your seasonings to this and keep it on medium to low heat. So next I'm going to be adding a few different seasonings for this. So I'm using garlic pepper seasoning. If you have this, you can use it. If you don't, then you can just use all of the additional or other ones, or you can just season it how you like. But I'm going to use just a sprinkle of this garlic pepper. Next, I'm using a pinch of Himalayan sea salt, nature seasoning, adobo, and garlic powder. And you can just use a little bit of this. You don't have to use as much. I just sprinkled everything across. I only used the salt grinder once across, and then gave everything else just a sprinkle across. So this gives the spinach a lot of flavor, since it's going to be one of the main ingredients stuffed inside of your peppers. So strain the additional juices that was created. I sauteed those for about 5 minutes, and so now I'm going to add those chopped peppers to the strained spinach and saute it for another 2 to 3 minutes. I have a handful of parsley going into my cooled jasmine rice, and we're going to mix this up and make sure you get all those stems off. We don't want the stems if possible. And so we're going to add the parsley and mix it into our jasmine rice. This stuffing is going inside the peppers as well. So just mix your fresh parsley up inside of your jasmine rice. And we're going to go ahead and now get our peppers prepping. So you cut the top of the pepper off. Once you cut the pepper at the top, you're going to go ahead and open it up and take all that additional filling out with all the seeds. And now we have a clean pepper ready to stuff. So now our spinach and our other additional pepper is ready. It only cooked for like 3 minutes, and we're going to go ahead and get our lobster tail ready. So I take the lobster tail and cut the middle, and you're going to cut that vein out of the middle if you see it. Sometimes they're big and sometimes they're small. So wash and rinse it off and get all of that vein out of the middle. And then we washed our shrimp. So make sure you have your shrimp cleaned and deveined as well and ready to go. And I have about 20 medium to large shrimp here and 2 lobster tails. One of the peppers will not have any vegetables other than spinach or lobster tails. So we have about 20 because we have 4 shrimp going inside each pepper, and then we're going to hook shrimp. So we're going to just coat it with a light coat of olive oil, so all of our seasoning can stick to our shrimp and our lobster tail. So just a light coat, and mix that up and rub it throughout your lobster tail, so we can add our seasonings on top and have it sticking and very flavorful. So the first seasoning I used was a garlic herb, and it was a rustic Tuscan style. So you can use whatever garlic herb that you have and sprinkle a generous amount, give it some flavor of this. And then I used a sprinkle of garlic powder, and then I also additionally used more garlic pepper seasoning. I'm using this pretty much throughout the whole video because I liked it. Adobo, a good sprinkle, and now we're going to coat with a little paprika. So sprinkle the paprika on top, and once you get that paprika sprinkled, this is the final sprinkle for the shrimp and lobster tail. You're going to just take it and just rub all of your seasonings all over your shrimp and get it all over your lobster tail. So mix all of that up really, really well. And we're going to begin to start frying these. So just make sure you get all of your seafood coated really good with some good flavorful seasoning. This is kind of what makes the peppers what they are, the main ingredients. So you want those to be seasoned and very, very flavorful. So next I'm going to use a cast iron skillet. If you don't have one, then you can just use a regular frying pan. And I coated it with olive oil and brushed the olive oil throughout the cast iron skillet. And I have this on a medium heat, and I'm going to begin to add my shrimp. I'm going to cook those first, and I don't cook these long at all, guys. These are only going to cook for 4 to 5 minutes. So we are going to start frying these because we have our pan up to heat, and add a little parsley on top. You're only going to cook these for about 2.5 minutes on each side. We don't want them to overcook and be rubbery. So just for about 2 to 2.5 minutes probably on on each side, and then you're going to go ahead and flip. So I just gave it a nice little color with some parsley. If you want to add parsley or fresh parsley, you can do so. So once you've done that and you have them cooking, you go ahead and begin to flip them. So flip them over and then cook for the additional 2 to 2.5 minutes on the other side as well. Okay, next our lobster tail are going on, and they are going to be the exact same. We're only going to cook these for about 4 minutes and have them on medium heat. And we're going to cook them 2 minutes on the bottom and then flip them over and cook the other 2 minutes just to make sure they're cooking underneath as well. Sprinkle a little parsley for some color. And once these are done, we are next going to start crumbling our cheese to stuff. I used aged Asiago cheese and I used Havarti cheese. This is probably a cup of each because I'm doing 3 peppers and we're going to do a couple layers. So I chopped this cheese up. So we're going to start filling this inside of our peppers, and we're going to coat the top of our peppers with a different cheese. So put your peppers in a pan. I lined mine with aluminum foil since we're using a lot of cheese, and I'm going to just pour a little bit of olive oil because, like I said, I'm a seasoned person. I like seasoning on my peppers as well. So I added the olive oil to make sure that the seasoning coat to the peppers as well. Brush that all over. You're just only using a little drizzle of olive oil on each pepper. So brush the olive oil all over so the seasonings will stick. And next I'm going to now add garlic powder on the back of the peppers. I'm going to just sprinkle, I like garlic, so you can sprinkle as much as you like. I'm using, again, the garlic pepper seasoning, and I'm going to sprinkle that on the peppers. And once I've done that, I'm just going to now brush the seasonings to make sure that it's all over the peppers and not just stuck in one spot. So brush your seasonings on these peppers, and then we're going to flip them over, and we're going to start to begin to stuff them and put all of this goodness inside and get us some good seafood peppers going. So go ahead and brush those and get it ready to go. Once you've done that, start filling with a handful of cheese. I'm going to fill the bottom of each of the peppers. Once you get the bottoms filled, we're going to layer and we're going to start adding the additional toppings. So get your Asiago and Havarti cheese in the bottom of the peppers. Next, I'm adding my jasmine rice with parsley, and you just fill a small layer. You don't want to overfill it because we have other things to add. So a small layer of jasmine rice, I'm scooping with a spoon to make sure we're not getting too much of that. And so you add that in as well, and you're going to scoop it into each pepper. And once we get those scooped and ready to go, we're going to add another layer of the Asiago and Havarti cheese mix. Like I said, just a good little sprinkle to cover the rice. And now we're going to stuff, and I put 4 of the medium to large shrimp inside each pepper. So stuffed 4 inside. You can use more if they fit, or if you have a bigger pepper, or you can use less, but in this situation I used 4. And so now we have our shrimp stuffed inside. Stuffed inside of our peppers. We're ready to now start adding the other things on top. So get all your peppers filled up, and then we're going to start adding the other additional ingredients. Okay, next I'm adding the spinach and the other additional pepper that I cut. I'm adding that into the peppers. 2 peppers will have it. One, my son doesn't like peppers at all, so he really just ate what was inside of it. So as you'll notice, one pepper has no peppers inside. It just has spinach and shrimp and rice. So we are ready now to go in the oven for 20 minutes, and we're going to put them in the oven on 400 for 20 minutes. In the last 5 minutes, I moved from the bottom shelf to the top shelf to get an extra little crisp on the top. I'm going to sprinkle, before we put in the oven, the mozzarella and provolone mix. This is what we wanted to top our peppers with. So sprinkle that. Don't put too much, because you still have to have your hook shrimp and your lobster tail. So now they are now ready to go in the oven. As you see, I have a good sprinkle of cheese, but not way too much. So we're going to put these in the oven and let them cook. And on the meantime, we're going to make us a little butter and parsley for our lobster tail and the hook shrimp, just to brush on when we're done. So put this on low heat and just add you about 2 tablespoons of butter and a pinch of parsley, and then we're going to cook on low heat, just stirring to make sure you don't over cook and make it just too cooked down. You just want your butter to still have a little bit of a thickness to it. So hey guys, our peppers are now done. I put it over a bit of the additional jasmine rice I had left over, and I hooked 2 to 3 additional shrimp on the outside as well as the lobster tail. What I used to hang the lobster tail was my skewer sticks, and I just stuck it in between the lobster tail and down into your pepper. That's a little tip to help you get your lobster tail to stay and stand up in your peppers. So they were baked for 20 minutes, and as I said, the last 5 minutes I moved them up to the top shelf, guys. These smell just as good as they look, I promise you. But the last thing we're going to do to top this off is brush our butter and parsley on our lobster tail and on our shrimp, and this loveliness will be ready to eat. So the lobster tail, you can just brush that butter, and you can brush it on your shrimp. This is what we boiled on the side and steamed on the side just for this purpose, guys. Just look at this. I am so excited to eat this. It is amazing. It looks amazing. It smells amazing, and it's gonna taste just as good. So make sure you guys like and comment and let me know, and subscribe to the page. Let me know if you made this. So this is just something that I decided to do, and I just thought it would be a great creation. So let me know if you like it, if you did it, and give me some additional comments on it. Thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you enjoy as much as I did. I'm going to go ahead and now cut into this loveliness so you guys can see the inside. We are now going to cut inside to see what all the hype is about. We have our peppers inside, we have our jasmine rice, we have our spinach with the Asiago and Havarti cheese, and all of this goodness is just going to be seeping out of the inside of this. And this, once you make it, you will understand what I meant about this goodness right here. So this is all the things that it's filled with, all the cheeses, all the additional things. If you want to add extra stuff to yours, like mushrooms or things like that, whatever you like, you add to it. So this is my version of the pepper, the lobster tail and shrimp pepper, and you can add additions to yours. Like, subscribe, and comment to my page, and thank you so much for watching, guys. Enjoy.